Well, it started as a simple act of kindness, holding a door open for a stranger, but it ended in heartbreak outside of a North Texas pet store. Dallas police say Cecilia Simpson was gunned down this past Tuesday after confronting another woman for not saying thank you. Happened in the 3500 block of West Wheatland in southeast Oak Cliff. That brief encounter spiraled into an argument, a chase into the store, and ultimately a deadly shooting in the parking lot. Fox 4's Vanya Casillo sat down with the victims' loved ones today and joins us live tonight with their story. Hi, Vanya.
Hi, Casey. Yeah, a senseless tragedy. That's what the mother of the woman who was killed earlier this week is calling her daughter's death after she was killed over the lack of a thank you.
It's like a bad dream that I can never wake up from.
Leslie Wickware was waiting for her daughter, 41-year-old Cecilia Simpson, affectionately known to her family as Cece, to come and visit her.
But they never happened. So it's a hard, difficult, sad thing. Senseless.
According to a police affidavit, she had opened the door for 22-year-old Kiana Hampton. And when Hampton didn't say thank you, Simpson called her out. That led to an argument between the two women. Simpson entered the PetSmart and told employees she was being followed.
My mom, as a bigger person, she walked away multiple times.
The affidavit says that Kiana Hampton admitted to following Simpson into PetSmart, throwing a bottle at her car as she was trying to leave, and getting into a fight before eventually shooting her in the parking lot.
I would never forget my granddaughter calling me, telling me that her mother had got, I would never forget those screams. I would never. The screams when she was calling me, telling me her mother got shot, the screams in the emergency room when the doctor told us she didn't make it.
Simpson's 16-year-old son says he doesn't sleep much anymore because instead of dreams, he's plagued by one unanswered question after another.
What was she thinking? What was going through her mind? Why did she have to follow my mom? What provoked her to continue to engage with my mom? What drove her to do that?
Hampton has been charged with murder in the case. She had previously been arrested for assaulting a family member.
It's crazy, because one day you wake up with your mom next to your side, and the next day it's quiet. You can't see her no more.
Simpson's family wants her to be remembered for more than just the way her life ended.
Outside of this horrible tragedy, she was a person who has kids and a family who loves her and will miss her.
It was all love. She showed her love in many ways. Even if you didn't take it, she showed her love.
Look, we've all been there. You hold the door, they walk through like you invisible. You feel disrespected, but you keep it moving, right? You have to keep it moving. Because October 7, 2025 showed us what happens when two women strangers decided pride was worth more than walking away. 21 minutes. That's how long it took for a thank you that never came to turn into a murder charge. You already know what we do here at Unheard Cries TV. We tell the stories nobody wants to hear, the ones that hurt, the ones that make you ask why. So let's get into it. October 7, 2025. Just another Tuesday afternoon in Dallas, Texas. Wheatland Town Crossing Shopping Center, busy like it always is. People coming and going, cars pulling in and out, folks just trying to get through their day. Normal, regular, the kind of afternoon where nothing's supposed to go wrong. And right in the middle of all that everyday life was 41-year-old Cecilia Simpson, pharmacy technician, mother, the kind of woman who didn't play about respect, but who also believed in treating people right. Her friends and family will tell you Cecilia was strong-willed, protective, the type to speak her mind when something didn't sit right with her. She wasn't looking for trouble, but she wasn't about to let disrespect slide either. That's just who she was. That afternoon, she was out with her 20-year-old daughter, just the two of them running errands, laughing, enjoying each other's company like they always did. Mother and daughter, inseparable, the kind of bond you could see from a mile away. They'd stopped at Five Below, that discount store where you grab all kinds of little things you don't really need but end up buying anyway. Nothing special, nothing out of the ordinary. Just two women shopping, talking, living their lives. Cecilia held her daughter close, not just physically, but in every way that mattered. She'd raised that young woman with the same fire she carried, teaching her to stand tall, to expect respect, to never let anyone make her feel small. And on this particular day, that lesson was about to cost Cecilia everything. So here's where it starts. Cecilia and her daughter are walking out of Five Below, bags in hand, probably talking about where to head next. And as Cecilia pushes through that glass door, she does what a lot of us were raised to do. She holds it open for the person coming behind her. That person, 22-year-old Kayona Zakiwa Hampton. Now, Cecilia holds that door, waits, expects maybe a nod, a smile, something. But Hampton, she walks right through. No acknowledgement, no thank you, not even a glance, just nothing. And look, we've all been there, right? You do something polite, something your mama taught you was just basic human decency, and somebody acts like you're invisible. For most of us, we might roll our eyes, shake our head, keep it moving. But Cecilia, nah, she wasn't built like that. She said something, called Hampton out. Let her know that walking past somebody without a simple thank you was rude as hell. And Hampton, she clapped back. Words got exchanged. Voices got raised. Right there outside, Five Below, these two strangers who didn't know each other's names, didn't know each other's lives, were going at it over a door and two words that never got said. Cecilia's daughter was right there watching this whole thing unfold, probably thinking like most of us would, Ma, let's just go. It's not worth it. But pride is a hell of a thing, and for both these women, walking away wasn't on the table. So Cecilia and her daughter, they decide to leave. They walk to their car, get in, and drive across the shopping plaza to PetSmart. Maybe they figured that was it. Argument over. On to the next errand. Put some distance between them and whatever that was. But Hampton, she wasn't done. According to the arrest affidavit, Hampton started walking in the same direction as Cecilia's car, following them, heading straight for PetSmart. Now, Cecilia noticed, of course she noticed, when you've got somebody that heated coming your way, you feel it. There's a tension in the air, a weight that settles in your chest. You know when something's off. So when she gets inside PetSmart, Cecilia goes straight to the employees. There's a woman following me and my daughter. You can hear the urgency in that, right? The awareness that this little argument was turning into something else, something that didn't feel right. And sure enough, minutes later, Hampton walks into that same PetSmart. She spots Cecilia's daughter and goes straight for her. The argument fires back up. Louder this time, more aggressive. Store employees jump in trying to calm things down. They're probably thinking the same thing we all would, not in here. Y'all need to take this outside. So Hampton leaves, walks out. But girl, she came right back. Second time walking into that PetSmart. And now the employees have had enough. They tell both women, Cecilia and Hampton, to leave the store, get out, handle whatever this is somewhere else. Like at this point, everybody's tired. The staff don't want this drama in their store. Customers are watching. This thing that started over a thank you has now spilled across the shopping center from Five Below to PetSmart, and it's still not over. So they leave, both of them, out into that parking lot where the Texas sun is beating down and the tension is thick enough to cut. And that's when everything went left. Make it make sense. Outside in that PetSmart parking lot, the Texas sun beating down, Cecilia and her daughter head back to their car. They're trying to leave, trying to put distance between themselves in this mess that just won't end. But Hampton, she's still there, still heated, still not letting it go. And then she does something that takes this whole situation to another level. She throws a drink bottle at their car, not near it, not past it, at it. A deliberate act of disrespect, of provocation. That bottle hits the car, and that's it. That's the moment Cecilia decides she's had enough. She's not running anymore. She's not backing down. She gets out of that car and marches straight toward Hampton. The argument explodes again, louder, angrier, more intense than before. Voices echoing across that parking lot. Shoppers stopping, pulling out phones. Some watching, some recording, some probably wondering if they should call the police. And then it gets physical. According to witnesses and that cell phone footage, Cecilia starts swinging. She hits Hampton several times, her voice cutting through the air, yelling for Hampton to leave them alone. The daughter steps back, maybe in shock, maybe trying to figure out what to do, watching her mother in a full-blown fight with a stranger. It's chaos, pure chaos. Two women locked in combat over pride, over respect, over a thank you that was never spoken. And Hampton, she's taking those hits, but she's reaching for something too. A black and silver handgun. That's what came out next. That's what turned a fistfight into a murder scene. 3 shots rang out across that parking lot. Pop, pop, pop. Cecilia staggered. Her body couldn't hold itself up anymore. She collapsed right there on the asphalt, blood pooling beneath her. Her daughter's screams cut through everything, through the shock, through the chaos, through the ringing in people's ears from those gunshots. Hampton turned and walked away. No running, no panic. Just walked back toward a black Ford 500 parked nearby. Got in and drove off. Left Cecilia bleeding out in front of her daughter in a parking lot full of witnesses who couldn't believe what they'd just seen. 21 minutes. That's all it took. From a door held open to a mother dying in a parking lot. 21 minutes. But somebody did run toward the sound of those shots. A 27-year-old emergency room nurse. She'd just walked out of PetSmart, heard the commotion, heard the gunfire, and instead of running away like most people would, she ran toward it. What she found, a mother on the ground, a daughter hysterical, and a scene that would haunt her forever. She dropped to her knees and started CPR immediately. Her training kicked in, her hands moving, her voice probably trying to stay calm even though everything around her was falling apart.
The shooter was telling them, come outside, like, let's handle it outside, like, you know, let's fight outside. And the mom and the daughter were kind of just like telling her to like go away.
This 27-year-old nurse who asked that we not use her name had just walked out of this PetSmart store located off West Wheatland Road in the southeast Oak Cliff area of Dallas Tuesday afternoon when she noticed 2 women, one with her 20-year-old daughter, arguing in the parking lot. Moments later, she heard gunshots.
But the mom and daughter tried to like get in their car and like de-escalate the situation, but the lady wasn't having it. So they ended up starting to fight. And then that's when the lady pulled out her gun and shot her.
Dallas police later identified the suspect as 22-year-old Kiona Hampton. She fled the scene in her car, but was arrested hours later with the help of surveillance video that captured her image, car, and license plate. The witness ran to help and put her training to work, performing CPR.
The daughter was next to the mom the whole time, she would later tell reporters.
The daughter was next to the mom the whole time. She, it's hard because, like, you know, the screaming of a child for her mother is never easy, and it's never going to leave my head.
You can hear the weight in those words. The image of a young woman watching her mother die, crying out her name, begging her to hold on. The nurse kept going, chest compressions, breathing, everything she'd been trained to do. 2 other nurses who happened to be in the area ran over too. All 3 of them rotating, doing everything they could to bring Cecilia back. But some things can't be undone. The paramedics arrived, rushed Cecilia to Methodist Central Hospital. The doctors tried. They really did. But Cecilia Simpson was pronounced dead. A mother, a pharmacy technician, a woman who believed in respect and courtesy, gone. Over 21 minutes of escalating pride and a gun that should have never been pulled. Her daughter was there through all of it. Watched her mother hold a door open as an act of kindness. Watched a simple gesture turn into an argument. Watched that argument become a chase, a fight, and finally 3 gunshots that took her mother away forever. That image of her mother collapsing in that parking lot, that sound of the gunfire, the feel of her mother's body going still while that nurse performed CPR, those things don't leave you, they stay. They replay, they haunt. The nurse who tried to save Cecilia, she spoke about that moment, about what she witnessed.
I've been trying not to cry, but just like, you know, being in high school, like my mom was such an important person during my lifetime, and she's the reason I became a nurse. My whole family is. Honestly, if I could just hug that daughter, like, I just feel so bad for her, and I just want her to know that I did everything I could. Those other people did everything they could.
She did everything she could. Her hands, her training, her will, all of it poured into trying to save a woman she'd never met. And even though Cecilia didn't make it, that nurse showed up. She didn't turn away. She didn't freeze. She ran toward the crisis when others ran from it. And when asked about Cecilia's daughter, her voice broke. That's the human side of this tragedy. The people who tried, the people who cared, the strangers who became witnesses to something they'll never forget. While that nurse was fighting to save Cecilia's life, Hampton was gone. Black Ford 500, pulling out of that parking lot like nothing happened. Like she didn't just take a mother away from her daughter. Like she didn't just end a life over hurt feelings. But she left something behind. Evidence, witnesses, cell phone footage, surveillance cameras. Her face was clear. Her car was clear. Even the license plate was visible. Dallas police didn't waste time. They knew who they were looking for, and they were coming. But before we get to that, let's sit with what just happened. A 41-year-old woman is dead. Her daughter watched it happen. A 22-year-old is about to throw her entire life away. And for what? Make it make sense, because right now it doesn't. A thank you, that's what this was about. 2 words that were never spoken. And now a family is shattered. A daughter has no mother, and a young woman is about to face the consequences of a choice she made in seconds, but will carry for the rest of her life. Dallas police moved fast. They had surveillance footage from Five Below and PetSmart that captured everything. The initial argument, Hampton following Cecilia, the confrontation, all of it. Cell phone video from bystanders showed the fight, the moment the gun came out, and those 3 fatal shots. Hampton's face was clear in the footage. Her car, that black Ford 500, was clear. Even the license plate was visible. Officers traced the vehicle to its registered address and set up surveillance at a nearby apartment complex. They weren't playing games. They wanted her found, and they wanted her found fast. By that same evening, officers spotted Hampton standing on a balcony. She was still wearing the same clothes from the footage, same outfit, no attempt to hide. At 7:45 that evening, less than 7 hours after Cecilia took her last breath, Dallas police conducted a traffic stop on the Ford 500. Kiona Zakiwa Hampton was taken into custody without incident. They brought her to Dallas Police Headquarters, read her rights, and here's the thing, Hampton waived those rights. She agreed to talk, and talk she did. She admitted to the argument at Five Below, admitted to following Cecilia and her daughter into PetSmart twice, admitted to throwing that drink bottle at their car, admitted to the physical fight, and she admitted to pulling out that black and silver handgun and firing those shots. But her reasoning, her justification, I was just trying to get Simpson away from me. Let me tell you something. That claim didn't sit right with investigators, not one bit, because the evidence told a completely different story. Cecilia was unarmed. The fight, while intense, didn't involve any weapons on her side. And Hampton, she was the one who kept following, kept confronting, kept escalating. The self-defense angle she tried to play, it fell apart under the weight of the facts. You can't chase somebody down, throw things at them, and then claim you feared for your life when they fight back. Hampton was booked into the Dallas County Jail, charged in connection with the fatal shooting. As of now, she remains there. Bond still pending. She's presumed innocent until proven guilty, but the evidence, it speaks loudly. The news hit Dallas like a shockwave.
Doesn't make sense to me.
It's the ordinary places that keep catching us off guard.
It's not safe to even be out. Anything, it happened to you.
A dart train, a gas station, a neighborhood.
Nah, it's making me scared to even bring my dog up here because they may shoot me.
On Tuesday in the Metroplex, it was this PetSmart in Dallas where a woman lost her life. Another name, another place added to a violent stretch that's left more than 10 dead across Dallas and Fort Worth.
I come here a lot because I have multiple pets.
Tuesday's crime, a shocker to shoppers like Georgia McCormick.
I am disgusted. I don't know what's going on with this world. We used to be nice to each other.
Who never thought they'd pull up to something like this. Investigators moving in and out of that PetSmart after a woman was shot and killed. The suspect taking off by the time time authorities got there. No motive so far.
It was two women fighting, and one pulled a gun and shot the other one.
Deanne Schmitz was giving plasma nearby when the shooting happened. Another person forced to process senselessness between errands.
I told you that's terrible.
Pearl Smith's Yorkie mixed lady was inside being groomed when everything went down.
I hope I can grab her and hit the door. That's what I want to do.
Detectives easy to spot. They move fast because often there's no telling when another scene is waiting. Those detectives have been very busy the last few days. Dallas seeing a string of homicides right now. Dallas had 3 separate fatal shootings on Sunday alone. One left 3 dead in that West Dallas neighborhood, another on a DART train less than a week after a restaurant manager was killed coming home from Deep Ellum. Now another family grieving.
The least little thing and people are pulling out guns and shooting at each other.
And it leaves many wondering what's safe from violence anymore. In Dallas,
A woman shot dead in a shopping center parking lot in broad daylight over a thank you that never came. People couldn't wrap their heads around it. Social media exploded with reactions, some in disbelief, some in anger, some just heartbroken, because this wasn't some dark alley at 3 a.m. This was a Tuesday afternoon at PetSmart, the kind of place where families shop for dog food and fish tanks. This could have been any of us, one Dallas resident posted, and that's what made it so terrifying. The randomness of it, the speed of it, the absolute senselessness of it. Cecilia's family stayed mostly private in the immediate aftermath, trying to process a loss that made no sense. But those close to them said her daughter was destroyed, completely shattered. She'd watched her mother hold a door open as an act of kindness, watched a simple gesture turn into an argument, watched that argument become a chase, a fight, and finally 3 gunshots that took her mother away forever. Community members started leaving flowers and candles near the PetSmart where Cecilia died. Small memorials popped up, handwritten notes, stuffed animals, photos. Strangers who never met Cecilia felt compelled to honor her, to acknowledge that her life mattered, that her death meant something. Vigils were held. People gathered to pray, to cry, to ask questions that had no good answers. How did we get here? When did everyday disagreements start ending with bullets? Where's the humanity? But beyond the grief, there was anger too. Anger at how quickly things escalated. Anger at the gun that turned a fistfight into a murder. Anger at 2 women who couldn't walk away. Some people blamed Cecilia, said she should have let it go, that calling someone out over a thank you wasn't worth dying for. Others blamed Hampton, said a 22-year-old had no business carrying a gun to go shopping, that pulling a trigger over hurt pride was inexcusable. But here's the thing, blame doesn't bring anyone back. It doesn't heal Cecilia's daughter. It doesn't undo those 21 minutes. This case raises questions that go beyond Cecilia and Hampton. Why was Hampton carrying a gun that day? Was it registered? Did she have it legally? According to police records, that black and silver handgun wasn't registered to her. So where'd it come from? And why did she feel the need to bring it on a casual shopping trip? Those questions matter. Because if Hampton left that gun at home, Cecilia would still be alive. A fistfight would have ended with bruises and maybe a police report, not a body bag. And what about the escalation itself? 2 grown women, both refusing to back down, both letting pride override common sense. At what point does standing up for yourself become more dangerous than just walking away? Cecilia believed in respect. She believed people should acknowledge kindness, and she wasn't wrong. But was being right worth her life? Hampton felt disrespected, then followed, then attacked, and she made a choice to pull that trigger 3 times, a choice that can't be undone. Neither woman knew the other's story. They didn't know each other's struggles, their pain, their history. They were strangers whose paths crossed for less than half an hour, and now one is dead and the other is facing the rest of her life behind bars. Cecilia Simpson was a woman who believed in respect, in courtesy, in standing up for what she felt was right. She was a mother who loved her daughter fiercely. She was a pharmacy technician who showed up for her community. She was someone's friend, someone's family, someone who mattered. Her life didn't end because she was in the wrong place at the wrong time. It ended because 2 people let anger win, because pride became more important than walking away. because a gun was pulled when words should have been enough. This story isn't about who was right or wrong. It's about how fast things can fall apart. How a single moment, a door held open, a thank you not said, can turn into something irreversible. Cecilia deserved to grow old. She deserved to see her daughter graduate, get married, have kids. She deserved more Tuesday afternoon shopping and laughing and living. Instead, she's a name in a case file, a victim in a parking lot, a mother who never came home. And for what? Hampton's life is forever changed too. Whether she spends the next few decades in prison or somehow avoids that fate, she'll carry this with her. The weight of having taken a life, the memory of Cecilia falling, the sound of that daughter's screams. Both families are shattered. Both lives, one ended, one derailed over something so small it almost sounds made up. But it's not made up, it's real, and it happened. So what do we do with this story? We remember Cecilia. We honor her by treating each other better, by recognizing that every interaction matters, that our reactions have consequences, that walking away isn't weakness, it's wisdom. We remember that behind every headline is a real person, a mother, a daughter, a life that mattered, and we remember that sometimes the smallest moments carry the biggest weight. Rest in peace, Cecilia Simpson. You deserve better. Your daughter deserved better. If this story moved you, if it made you think, if it reminded you that life is fragile and precious, leave a comment below. Tell us your thoughts. Tell us how we stop this from happening again. Hit that subscribe button for Unheard Cries TV. We're not just telling stories here. We're honoring lives. We're demanding justice. We're making sure cases like this are never forgotten. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it. And if you know someone who might be in danger, if you see a situation escalating, don't stay silent. Intervene. Call for help. Do something. We'll be back with another story, another name, another life that mattered. Until then, stay safe, treat each other with respect, and remember, it only takes a moment for everything to change. This is Unheard Cries TV.